The truth about real estate commissions. Many buyer agents say to their buyer's agent, what am I paying you for? Right? What am I paying you for? What are you doing for me? Right? Let's just break down how the real estate commission works on just an example and an average and simple numbers. Okay, the buyer agent actually gets paid from the sellers. When a seller lists their home at, let's just say 4%, 2% stays with the listing agent, 2% goes to the buyer agent. So money is not actually coming out of the buyer's pocket to pay for the buyer agent services. Now, commissions are only paid when the deal is closed and recorded, which means they really put their money where their mouth is. I'm going to take you through the entire steps to buy this home, facilitate the sale, only to get paid if and when it closes. If the deal dies at the very last minute, you don't owe the buyer agent a dime. Now, there are some agencies out there that will ask for some money up front. It's not typically the norm. It doesn't really happen in the New England area that much. Some people will have you sign a buyer agency agreement, which basically means, you're going to have to buy with me. So even if this deal falls apart, you're still kind of obligated to continue to work with me. So I know that I'm not putting in my free time. But at the end of the day, a buyer does not pay the buyer agent. The seller does. Now, do you finance that? Well, it's part of the sale price. So if the home sells for $350,000, then the seller's proceeds are going to be their closing costs minus the 4%. So yes, you could get technically 2% off the sale price if you bought it for sale by owner or didn't use a buyer agent. But typically in that situation, the listing agent would then turn to a dual agent and keep both sides of the commission. So the buyers sometimes say, what do I need a buyer agent for? What are you doing for me? I don't want to, does that cost me? At the end of the day, it does not technically cost you because it's rolled into the sale price of the home. Now, the flip side to that is sellers may say, what do I need to pay an agent for? Well, that's a little different of an argument. You could certainly put your house on the market as for sale by owner or an entry-only listing by yourself. You certainly can. But in most cases, the buyer agent is going to want some type of commission offered to bring the buyers through. And we, of course, aren't working for free. The seller can sell for free, but the buyer agent doesn't want to come put in the effort and is frankly not going to put in the effort if there's no commission involved. And then, of course, you don't want to buy, it's not recommended that you buy from a for sale by owner, because the agent's going to facilitate on your behalf and basically advocate for you. And that's really where the commissions come in. Okay, so it's a typical misconception that you pay the buyer agents. Buyer agents don't get paid by the buyer; they get paid by the seller. A seller, pays the full percent, and it's split up 50-50 as indicated in the MLS. But more importantly, a buyer agent shouldn't really worry about the commission because it comes onto the seller side, and they build that into their list price. So when the listing agent sits down and says, "Okay, I think the home is worth $350," that's understood that the closing costs and the commissions are going to be built into that selling price. Hope you enjoyed the commission breakdown. Evan Russell, Russell Realty Minute, at Work with Evan, Evan at therussellteam.com.